Hey everyone, and welcome to Conquer the Mirror Demon. My name is Tanja Andersen. I am your host, and today we have a special speaker with us. There's a dear to my heart. I can call her friend, and her name is Rebecca Withman. Welcome, my friend.
Thank you. It's so great to be here, Tanja.
Likewise, and thank you for being here with us. So, before Rebecca and I go into the topic, I would like to share with you why I picked Rebecca. So I have known Rebecca on close hand for the last 4 months in a leadership program where we was coaching together. And the transformation I saw in her for where she was and where she is now, I really love her spirit. She is wild. She is free, she's confident, she's in herself, she's funny as AF. And what I really like with Rebecca is she's not giving up on standing for a person. She is willing to shift, she's willing to let go of her stories, she's willing to be who she gets to be, to take a stand for another living being. Rebecca is powerful, she's vulnerable, she's present, she's calm, and see her transformation in a person I saw to be very confident, as I see her, like a person that is in suits and like very perfect, like have the right words, like know where she's going. It was very intimidating by me in the beginning to watch her because I was so messy and totally unperfect. Like I was not perfect whatsoever. And to see the other side of her, of who she is, really, or is the biggest gift, and I'm so blessed by to have her here so she can be your gift and really teach you some things around abundance we are going into. So Rebecca, share a piece of who are Rebecca Withman.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for all your kind words. And yes, I came up with the saying at the end of that training that messy is the new sexy. So I have learned from you that it's okay to be perfectly imperfect and that being authentic is the most important thing. So thank you for your beautiful example. A little bit about me. I moved to LA 20 years ago to be an actress. I never thought I would be voted Life Coach of the Year or anything like that. I didn't make it as an actress, although I did have a couple cool roles on Friends, CSI, and 24. And I started studying with great spiritual teachers, Michael Beckwith, Abraham Hicks, Wayne Dyer. I learned all about the law of attraction, and I applied it very well to my financial life and my health. But the one area that caused me a lot of emotional pain was my love life. And I ended up marrying someone who was verbally and emotionally abusive. 3 years later, as we were divorcing, my dad was dying. So I was going back and forth from Los Angeles to Ohio, saying goodbye to my dad, watching him decline as this very painful divorce was proceeding. And in one of the last conversations with my dad, he asked me to write something, and I had no idea what to write. My dad was buried. His funeral was on a Wednesday. 3 days later, my divorce was finalized on a Friday. And it was a very hard time in my life, but I just kept showing up. I kept practicing my 7 pillars of abundance, which we're going to talk about. And a few months later, I was sitting in my financial planner's office, and he said, Rebecca, you lost your dad and you lost your marriage, but yet you're having your best financial year ever. And I think you should teach people what you did to be so resilient. That's why I wrote this book, How to Make a 6-Figure Income Working Part-Time. And in the book, I divide life into 7 key areas: spirituality, fitness, emotions, romance, mental, social, and financial. And when you have all 7 pillars of life in alignment, you can get through anything and you can become balanced, beautiful, and abundant. So now I coach women to go from burned out and overwhelmed to balanced, beautiful, and abundant.
Oh my God. Amen. And our topic in this interview is the 7 pillars of abundance. What is one area from your past, Rebecca, where you was in a challenge or you was feeling lost and you feel like, who is Rebecca? Like, what is one episode in your past that was the shift to become who you are today? So let's go back. So what is one era in your past where you was very challenged in life?
I think it was in college. I was in a fight with my boyfriend and I did a fake suicide attempt to get his attention. And I ended up going to the student hospital and I met with a psychiatrist and he told me that I needed Alcoholics Anonymous. So I started on my path of sobriety back then. And then I tried to get into a elite social club twice. I got rejected and this guy and I broke up. He started seeing another woman. I just felt really alone. I felt left out. I felt not a part of. And it was just a really dark time in my life. I had a physical reaction. I actually got the chicken pox because we know mind, body, spirit are connected. As I had the chicken pox, my grandmother died. So I was too sick to go to her funeral, which broke my heart. It was just a really dark time when I was going through my university years. And what got me out was spirituality. I started singing with the choir, singing about God. I started going to more of the AA meetings and I started relying on a morning practice, which I'm so excited to give as a gift, writing in a daily journal, which I call my abundance journal. And these practices got me out of it, but I was in a very dark time. I was overweight. I just was miserable.
Mm, mm. So when you was there in the past, what did you tell yourself? Like, what is one of the biggest belief you have on that point?
I think it would be something that is also in my God journal that I would write every day. And one of the journal prompts is how the worst thing that happened today is actually the best thing. So that opened up so much possibility because it was my own perception and my own judgment of how much pain I was in and how heartbroken I was and how rejected I was that I didn't get into these 2 social clubs. And I learned how to turn that around and reframe it by saying how the worst thing that happened to me is actually the best. And that it opened up so much possibility and it gave me so much faith that I don't know what's best for me and that I'm learning from this pain and that I get to come out the other side of it. How is the worst thing that happened to me today the best? And I started writing that every single day. And now 30 years later, I'm very resilient because I know how to see the silver lining in anything that is I perceive to be bad. I know how to flip it around to the positive.
I like that. And also like that you have like what you call like a mantra, like something you say to yourself at that point. One of my mantra I tell myself is I had so much reaction at it when I hear the first time from a coach in 2014. He told me, you are the perfect place right now. When I hear that first time, I get so angry at him, like a really like full-blown beast at him. And I listened to, he was my mentor that say that again and again and again and again in my words. And I tell myself that now, like, I'm the perfect place right now I get to be. I'm just like, okay, there's a meaning with everything. So that was, from that point, was enfolded into there's a meaning with this here. Like Beautiful. That really, that wording that I say to myself, there's a meaning with this here in everything I experienced that's so uncomfortable. It make me surrender me to the moment, like there's a meaning with this here. Okay, there's a meaning with this here. What is that? Or let me go on adventure into that. So that is so powerful. You have a mantra. A mantra can really make things shift. And the worst moment in our life, or the most darkest moments, because everything is a mirror. So what in that point what is the biggest wisdom for you learn around that point of challenge, around abundance? Because abundance is about like a bunch of relationships. Is that meaning like, let's go into, before you said that, like abundance, is that we focus on relationship, or what that mean exactly for you?
Yeah, most people think abundance is about financial, but in my opinion, this is all areas of life. So
Yeah.
to go back to my second darkest time was when my dad was dying and my marriage was unraveling. And there was a lot of pressure on me because my ex-husband wasn't working. So I was paying for his lifestyle, his lawyer. I was paying for my lawyer. And I really felt like I had three men with their hand in my purse. Like here I am, talk about feminism, right? Like I'm like paying for these three men, and I was just working in all commission sales. And it was like every week I started over at zero. And I didn't get so focused on the financial abundance. I focused on all areas of abundance. I focused on being healthy, being spiritually fit. I focused a lot on having friends and letting them support me through this very dark time. And I focused on my emotions, choosing happy, that I get to choose happy. And I got to work a lot on my mental by listening to great summits like this and podcasts and YouTube videos. And I worked on all 7 pillars of abundance, and that is what carried me through. And that's one of the reasons I ended up making more money that year than I ever have, because I was so focused on the other areas of abundance.
Oh, I love that. I love that. So I love that, because that is also getting down into like the 7 areas of life, as I'm talking about, like the 7 areas of life, so that you can have a thriving life, like extraordinary life, like 7 areas of life to create extraordinary life. Because life is in different kind of areas of life, and where we do one thing is where we do everything, as you know. That is so interesting. So if we have a breakdowns in spirituality, we also have breakdowns in the other 6 areas. So how did you create like a connections, just short about some of them? How did you create a connections to some of the pillars in your life, is to create like a strong connection with it?
Well, I do the pillars in order of importance. So the first one is spirituality. I'm a huge believer in having a morning practice. No matter how little sleep I get, you and I just did a training where sometimes we had very little sleep. I would always write in my abundance journal every morning, no matter what. I do prayer, I do meditation every single day. Sometimes I don't have time to meditate in the morning, so I do it in the afternoon or the evening. I'm a huge fan of the guided meditation app Insight Timer, but there's YouTube videos, there's the Calm app, and I just listen to a guided meditation and just get still in my body. So these are things that ground me. The second pillar of abundance that I try to do almost every day is fitness. And I like to work out in the morning, because the energy that I get from the workout makes me feel confident, and it carries into my day, the good feeling hormones, the dopamine, the serotonin, the endorphin. It gives me more energy. So that's the second one. The third one is emotional. And I believe that all emotions come from fear or love. So all emotions, you could also say, are scarcity or abundance. The fear-based emotions, there's not enough, I'm not good enough, there's not enough money, there's not enough attention, there's not enough anything, are fear-based. And there's more than enough, there's abundance, there's plenty of love, plenty of money, plenty of good is love. So I do my best to stay on the love channel, not the fear channel. And if I find myself on the fear channel, the fastest way to turn to the love channel is through gratitude. So part of the abundance journal is writing a gratitude list every morning, and just to check in, am I being in gratitude? Happiness is not getting what I want, it's wanting what I have.
Oh.
Yes, the next I'm seeing your brain is firing. The next pillar of abundance after emotion is romantic.
Oh.
And having a partner that is loving and supportive is a really big deal. When I did not do this work, I would choose partners that were emotionally, verbally abusive. Thank God, not physically abusive, but I get to choose partners that are loving and supportive.
Yeah.
And that's very important in creating abundance.
I have a question. So that's around relationship. Around relationship, because what I hear around when people say about relationship is it doesn't matter what kind of relationship you have with a partner. You can choose whatever you want to choose around what you create to choose around relationship, correct? You don't need to like have an uncertain way to have like that in that area. Do you understand?
Even if you're with someone who's abusive, you can choose to be happy in that relationship. Is that what you
mean? No. Please, out there, please go out of that. I have also experienced like all seven types of violence in relationships. It is destroying like all life and spirits in you as everything. So what I mean is, when you talk about relationship, like a healthy, supporting, loving relationship, it doesn't matter what kind of relationship you have with that person that is like supporting, loving, careful. Yet you could just like, let me say it like light out, because I have a friend with benefits. There is that, and I feel I'm fulfilled. I feel all my needs is met and all that, because my needs or my needs is something like, as I've learned in my past, when in my family is like, either you're single or either you are in a relationship. There's not like, choose what you create on the healthy, abundance, loving relationship.
Yeah, so it doesn't have to be a traditional committed relationship. If you feel that your romantic life is being fulfilled and someone is giving you love and support and being kind, then you can. My goal is to help people get to a level 10 in each of the areas. So you can get to a level.
Nice.
The next area is mental. And that is mindset work. It's also continuing to learn. You could take a class, you could do a language app. It's amazing to me that you're doing this whole interview in English because it's not even your first language. That's mentally stimulating. Listening to YouTube, listening to podcasts, like my podcast is amazing, the Balanced, Beautiful, and Abundant show. There's so many ways to do your mental work as long as you are continuing to learn and have a growth mindset. And then the next area is social. You want to hang out with people who have what you want, because if you do what they did, you can get what they got. So you don't want to be the most successful, the most enlightened, the most transformed person you know, because then you don't have anyone to be inspired by or learn from. You want to have a combination of people who are looking up to you and people who you look up to that you're friends with. So you can continue to grow and evolve, but you can also continue to turn around and take somebody's hand and pull them with you and be of service. And then the seventh area is financial abundance, which is obvious. It's making money. But to me, the whole point of money is to have freedom to do what you want, when you want, where you want, and with who you want. I don't believe in accumulating money for money's sake. There are no U-Hauls following hearse. Hearse is a funeral vehicle, so you can't take the stuff with you to the other side, but you can affect people by being kind, by being loving, by sharing insight. And that is going to be your legacy. So that is my overview of the 7 pillars of abundance.
Love that. I love that. One of the things you also did share with me, and I like that because as you also have meant this, is like self-care is not selfish. And in the past, I learned self-care is selfish. So I learned as a little girl, other people's before my own needs. So I learned never to think about what is Tanya's needs. Like that is not important, because what is important is other people's needs, because I need to make them happy. And so in that around has been, it was challenge moment on that point. And yeah, touch a little bit around that, like self-care is not selfish.
So women, just like you were taught, I was taught the same thing. You know, we are supposed to be people pleasers, and our success is based on how well we please others. So that is why women burn out, because they give and they give and they give and they give until they get exhausted and depleted and have nothing left for themselves. So I think of our energy as a cup of tea, and you want to fill up your cup first. So whatever self-care looks like for you, it could be walking, massage, meditation, taking a nap, reading, I don't know, listening to a great summit like this, whatever it is that fills your cup, you fill yourself up first and you get full, and then you can truly show up and be of service to people. So I teach my students, don't do anything out of fear, obligation, or guilt. Because let's say you show up to a party and you don't really want to be there, and you show up out of obligation, like, oh, I really should go to this party, but I'm exhausted, but I really don't want to go. Then you're going to show up and you're not going to be your most beautiful, loving, radiant self, because you're going to be too tired. So you're not going to be a loving presence at the party. I would tell my student, it's okay to say no. You don't have to justify, defend, or explain your no's. Just if it's not a heck yes, it's a heck no. And that's okay. And when I have a party, if somebody says no, I used to ask them, well, why don't you want to come, and take it personally? But now I don't want anyone to be at my party unless they are a heck yes, because they're not going to be any fun anyway.
Amen. I like that. If I say yes, I can say no. If I say no, I can say yes.
Yeah. And I want a full body no or a full body yes, not a half-ass yes, because that's not truly a yes. So it's okay to put yourself first and prioritize your self-care. And then when you do show up, you're really showing up as your best, full, most authentic self.
I love that. One strong point there is also like, I get to learn how to support myself in my worst moments before I can support someone else. Like, I get to love every side of myself, also the funny side of myself, before I can love someone else. And after my time in Guatemala, when I choose to like sell everything to end my close to suicide in 2018, to like have a huge shift in my life, sell everything, travel to Guatemala, there I really saw, yes, I have hold dear my mom so dear to myself. I have never loved her, because I was in so much pain in my entire life and struggling and surviving. I was in surviving mode my entire life. How can I love someone else? Like, how can I know I'm loving someone else? When I come home, I was facing my mom and say, I know, I push you away when you choose to love me. She said, yes. It's because I did not know how to love. Now I know what love is, because I love myself, and I can say from my heart for the first time, I love you. Beautiful. That was so strong. My mom was crying. I was crying. It was really beautiful moment to really feel the love I have for myself and know what love is exactly, and where I'm coming from when I choose to love someone else.
Yeah, I love that point, Tanja, because until we love ourselves, we cannot let anybody else's love in. So one of the reasons that I was choosing abusive, emotionally unavailable men is because I was being that way to myself and my own inner dialogue. I was a perfectionist. I was harsh. I was always pushing myself. Whatever I did was never good enough. So of course I'm going to attract someone who tells me whatever I do is not enough, because you attract who you are, not who you want. They're going to be a mirror of your own inner dialogue. So when you learn how to be loving and compassionate and soft with yourself and go easy with yourself and give yourself a break, you're going to attract somebody who treats you the same way.
Amen. Amen. I'm very interested in this point also something you are serving your client with is why why does the audience need a side hustle? Like, why is that important to choose a side hustle?
Well, a side hustle just means an additional stream of income. And the wealthiest people, the 1% of the wealthiest people in the world, they have 7 to 10 income streams.
Oh my God.
So, yes. So they are making money many different ways. I personally have 4 income streams, and I really believe that having a side hustle outside of your regular job, it gives you passion and purpose, because most people have a job just to collect a paycheck, just to have insurance. They're very rarely doing a job that is in their passion. I just posted on my social media today that 85% of the people who have a job don't even like it. So if you don't like your job and you're spending, 40 hours a week there, 50 weeks a year, that means you don't like your life, because that's the majority of your time is spent doing something you don't like. So why not create a passion project that actually makes you happy, that lights you up, that, is a vehicle for you to help people and share your gifts and create a side hustle. So I have an 8-week coaching program that actually helps people take their passion and turn it into a business. And it's called Create Your 6-Figure Side Hustle.
Love it. So I know you have to talk a short bit about your free gift. So what is your free gift to the dear audience that is watching this amazing interview?
So I was in a 12-step group when I was 19 years old, and I sat next to a woman named Janet, and she's like, Rebecca, this is how you write a God journal and do this every day. And I truly believe that Janet was an angel. I never saw her again, but I've been using this journal format for 30 years.
Oh,
and
wow.
as I mentioned, it has helped me turn my mirror demons, as the name of this summit is, into love and positivity. And these journal prompts have absolutely transformed my life beyond my wildest dreams. And I want to gift this, I call it my abundance journal. I want to gift it to your listeners so they can transform themselves and learn how to reframe their life from negative to positive and create everything they want in life. And this is a journal that I do every single day, no matter what's happening in my life. It's carried me through good times, dark times, and I'm learning every single day. So every day I feel like I evolve to the next level of my personal growth and unfoldment. And it's my biggest tool for transformation. And with that, I gift that to your audience.
Amazing, amazing. And where do you find that information to you that watching? You can go below this video, or you go back straight in your newsletter where you get this link to this video. There is everything you need to know about Rebecca, where you find her on the social media, where you find her free gift. So I would invite you to go there right now and hit the link to receive her free gift, because you get to act on something that come out on you, because you are how the brain is working. We are losing a lot of information, like 75% on like if you're waiting. So you get to act on it. You are worth it. It is time for you to move forward into Rebecca's world and really receive what she have in service to you guys. So the last word, Rebecca, before we end this amazing interview, what is your last words to the audience?
Just do your day. Don't worry about the future. Don't worry about the past. The past and the future are fiction. They're only fantasies of your mind. All you have to do is your day today. And if your day is overwhelming you, just do your next indicated action. What are you doing after you listen to this interview? Stay in the moment. That's where all your happiness and all your freedom and all your choices is right here, right now. And that is my final word. Just do your day and enjoy the moment.
Thank you so much, Rebecca, my dear, dear friends. And thank you so much for being here, being a blessing in my life, and also being a blessing to the dear audience that is watching. And I love you so much more of my whole heart. And thank you so much for really being in my life. it has been a huge gift, more that I can explain. So thank you so much, my love.
Oh, you're going to make me cry. Thank you so much. I love you so much, and you are a gift in my life. And I'm excited to build our friendship beyond the training we just completed.
Likewise. And thank you to your audience. Having an amazing day. See you soon again. Bye, everyone.